Kumbaya, my lord. This isn't just kumbaya talk. Purpose drives impact. Looking to empower up your day? Tune in to Evolve Together with Empower People on ESPN Richmond, powered by MikeKingBiz. Join me, host and Empower People founder Tiffany Joy Greene, MBA, as I bring dynamic leaders, change makers, and entrepreneurs to share their journeys, challenges, and successes while driving their purpose to drive positive impact and empower people. Empower People is an organization that provides education, connection, and support to mission and purpose-driven leaders to drive positive impact and empower people. Catch us every Tuesday at 5 a.m. on ESPN Richmond and join Empower People today. What are you waiting for? We even have a free membership. That's right, free. Visit www.empowerpeople.org. That is MPWRPeople.org. You can also visit us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. Evolve Together. So welcome to Evolve Together with Empower People, the show that brings you inspiring stories, hoodies, expert insights, wait for it folks, and transformative advice on ESPN Richmond, powered by MikeKingBiz. I'm your host, Tiffany Joy Greene, founder of Empower People. Some know me as Manic Maple or the Princess of Purpose. And each week we dive into topics that are rooted in how purpose drives business and positive impact. Join us as we connect with dynamic guests, explore innovative ideas, stay warm in our hoodies, and empower you to evolve and thrive in every aspect of your life. Stay tuned because together we can achieve greatness. Let's evolve together. To learn more about Empower People, you can visit www.empowerpeople.org. That's MPWRPeople.org. Or you can find us on YouTube, Facebook, or LinkedIn. Hashtag Empower People. So let's dive into today's show with my hope dealer in a hoodie, Chris Mayfield.
Good morning.
So Chris, I must have referenced hoodie how many times?
I don't know. Not enough. Not enough. There's never too many hoodies.
So Chris, tell us briefly about your infatuation with the hoodie.
Well, I wouldn't say it's an infatuation, but I'm a guy of a certain age and I get cold easily, and I've got really big ears. I kind of look like a Volkswagen going down the road with the doors open. So when you're an older person with big ears, sometimes the hood just comes in handy. So,
Got it. What was the bug's name in that movie? Herbie?
Herbie.
Oh, maybe
Yep.
that's another nickname for you now.
Well, there you go. You can never have too many nicknames.
Well, I think we're going to talk about, I don't know, I think we're going to go off the rails a little bit today, and we're going to talk about purpose. I know that's really taking it out of the comfort zone, right, Chris?
Yes, shocking.
I know. And for those who don't know, in my office, I have a sign that says I speak fluent sarcasm. So there we are. So we are about to change our calendars to 2025. I like to call New Year's as calendar changing day because I'm still old school and have a actual paper calendar on my desk. And with the new year coming, we all know, what are we thinking about? Goals, right? So with goals, how should our goals, I'm teeing you up, Chris. I'm teeing you up right now. So with setting our goals for 2025, what should we remain focused on as we set up those goals?
Well, I view goals, resolutions, whatever you want to call them, kind of in three buckets, if you will. So one are the new things that I want to try and do and that I want to prepare to do in the new year. The second bucket being the things that I'm crushing it, I'm killing it, I'm doing it just like I want to do, and I want to continue doing those things. So I want to make sure that I leave space for those things as I'm, creating these new things that I want to do. So it's important that we hold on to the things that we enjoy and that we're crushing as we do move into the new year, and then we're going to add those things. And then the third bucket are the things that I've been doing. Maybe they don't bring me joy. Maybe they don't serve my purpose very well. And those are the things that I want to try and excavate myself from going into next year. Old habits die hard sometimes. And, sometimes we get caught in this cycle where even though this thing doesn't serve my purpose, I'm not very good at it, it doesn't add value to my life, but we keep doing it anyway. So just because we've done it, right? So that's how I try to frame goals and resolutions. So I would say let's make that list, those things that we want to do, the things that we're doing that we want to keep, and those things that we're doing and want to get rid of.
I like that. And I would like to add that when you're saying habits, and it's just we get in this habit of doing things and we have a hard time changing. And I will get a little psychological. I'm not a doctor, nor have I played one on TV. But when we have a habit, we think it's just because we've done it, so now it's ingrained in us and it's hard to break a habit. Even if we feel like that on the surface that habit isn't serving us, but in actuality, in some way that habit is serving us, or we wouldn't be continuing that habit. So sometimes we do habits because it's feeding not our purpose, but a fear. Or it's something else, right? And so I'm going to use the analogy for those who know me. They're going to be like, oh gosh, she's saying it again. But a resolution or a goal is only as good as the purpose behind it, right?
That's
So
right.
what's the number one resolution made in America for January 1st? I am going to lose weight. This is going to be the year that I'm going to be at my ideal weight, and I'm going to wear XYZ clothes, right? Size XYZ. And how many of those resolutions actually happen?
Yeah, and very few survive the first week in the gym or on the road. Yeah.
And then if they do, that small percentage that does survive even that first month, very few become the new habit, meaning it does not become the lifestyle. That's because the goal wasn't weighted in purpose, right?
And we didn't make space for it.
That's right. That's right. What did they say? A goal is just a wish when it doesn't have a plan, right? I also say without purpose, right? So
Yep.
if the root of the losing of the weight is to wear a certain size jeans, you aren't making a lifestyle change, because that isn't really purpose, right? We don't live to wear a certain size jean, right? And I would also argue if it's just for looks, it's like for the superficial, like I'm going to look fantastic in that swimsuit. Great. Summer passes. You're going to gain that weight back on, right? Because that's not a real core belief. It's not a value. But if you say, I want to lose weight to be healthy because my big goal in life is I want to be around for when my grandchildren get married. And if I continue on this journey of being even slightly overweight, or my cholesterol's too high, or my blood pressure's too high, I'm decreasing the odds of that happening. And so that frames it in a very different picture. So sometimes we make goals, though, not because they're goals really that we want to have, but goals we feel we need to have because somebody else is telling us that's our goal. So I'll use this in a business analogy. How many small business owners do you know say, I have a goal next year. I want to be, we'll just say $1 million business next year. Next year's the year I'm going to hit $1 million revenue. And why do they have that goal?
Well, just like most goals we set for ourselves, they're arbitrary. All right. They're fictitious numbers of where we think we're going to, if we hit that number, we're successful. Right. So, and if the danger is that we hit it, right? The danger is that we get there. And then you're like, oh, I have $1 million business. Now what? Are you done? Are you, or you lose that 12 pounds, then what? Do you go back to the things that got you where you are, or you lower your cholesterol? Well, then what? So,
so setting the goal doesn't fulfill the purpose, right?
That's right. That's right. So, yeah, I agree with you. We have to be mindful of not only the goal, but how and why we're setting the goal. So, yep.
That's it. That's key. So if you set that revenue goal, and let's say you have a team and you say, hey team, this is the year 2025. We're finally hitting that $1 million revenue mark. you know what your team's thinking?
Yeah, we just get there and we're done.
Or worse, I love coming to work every day to help you make money.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's a
Because
great
where's
one.
the purpose? It sounds like, even if it's not true, right? I'm not saying that's even true, but perception is reality. The perception is my boss just wants to make more money. And nobody really gets jazzed about helping other people make more money. That's just,
What?
I know, shock. Now,
I do.
those of you who are listening who do, no judgment. You can, there's exceptions to every rule.
I get super jazzed about helping other people make a lot of money.
Well, it's different if you're getting hired to do that and it's transparent about it. But as an employee, and they don't feel like it's, if we get this business to $1 million, how is that going to positively impact me necessarily, right? It comes back to, oh, wait, what is your purpose? What is your
Yep.
purpose? It still comes back to purpose alignment. So if you don't know why you're setting these goals, again, keeps going back to why, which is purpose. Like, if you don't know why you're setting the goal, it doesn't really matter if you achieve the goal. That's the irony of it. And that's why so many entrepreneurs who set these I'm going to increase my revenue to this, or I'm going to increase my contribution margin to that, or I'm, all these things, or I'm going to finally acquire that new business to expand my target market, whatever that is. There sometimes, if they don't know their purpose, then what it is they're filling a void. They think these things are going to fill a void. And then they get these things and they're like, wait a minute, it didn't fill the void.
Yeah, so the goal or the resolution has to meet your purpose. It has to have a plan, and you have to be prepared for the lifestyle change or the life change, right? So that that resilience that you should have been building all along comes into play. Because change is hard, and when we set goals, especially stretch goals, business growth goals, those things generally will require some kind of change. And change is a mindset. Successful change is as much about your mindset as it is about changing your business processes. Spend less here, sell more there. So those are all business processes that have to be adjusted to meet that next year's goal. And the first step of that is preparing you and your people, your team, and getting them, creating a sense of urgency and getting your folks in the right mindset to take on those new challenges. So what does that mean? Getting them in the right mindset. It's having that clear purpose statement. Here's why we're doing it. And that purpose statement then has value to your employees. It is providing the education opportunities that they need, right? People don't, generally, when there's a change inside a business, there's going to change in processes. There's going to be a change in the knowledge we have to have. There's going to be a change in the way we conduct business. So preparing them mentally, preparing them technically with the skills they're going to need, and then being prepared to celebrate those wins, get an early win, right? Make everybody feel good, get that good early win, and then just keep driving to those goals and celebrate along the way. That's a simplified version, but be prepared, arm your people with knowledge, and then celebrate.
What I'm hearing you say, which I 100% agree with, is you're building a culture,
Yep.
which is rooted, which all business on some level should have innovation as part of that culture. Because innovation in some way is what? It's about being resilient and change, and thinking of how you can do things better, more efficiently, maybe in a new way. That's the crux of it, right? And how do you do that? How do you foster such a culture of something of that magnitude? It's not just through leadership, but it's through education and continuing education. Without those, you got to have connection, you got to have support, and you got to have that continuing education. Because like you said, change is inevitable. Some people prefer change. Lots of people hate change. But the only way you can feel more comfortable with change is if you're continually growing and learning and enacting. That's how mindset changes.
And let's just go ahead and bust this myth right now. Change in any organization is happening at any time, always, right? It's continuous. Innovation is happening all the time. So what that means to the business owner or the people that are responsible for the stewardship of that business is, if you aren't in control of the change that's happening inside your business, somebody else is, right? So that means, and change isn't always for the better, right? If you aren't actively shepherding that change, if you aren't actively leading that change, that mysterious person that is leading the change without your knowledge may be taking it the wrong way, right? So when we talk about having that good positive control over our culture, if you have these negative folks or the folks that aren't focused, that don't share your purpose, they very well and will drive your business the opposite way. If you do nothing and let them do exactly as they please, they will damage your culture. There's not a question of if, they will. Your culture will suffer.
In my mind, as you're saying that, Chris, I have this image of a canoe or a rowboat in the middle of a lake, and you got these people who are not leading. And so what do they inevitably do? They're going in a circle because nobody's leading it, right? So
Yep.
one person, they're paddling in the wrong direction, so they just keep going in circles.
That's
and so
right.
you can have, if you're not leading and you're not setting the purpose and which leads the culture, you're right, somebody else is going to do it, or you're going to have multiple people or entities trying to do it, which is just going to cause your organization to go in circles. And what happens when we go in circles?
Yep.
Everyone's confused, and then different narratives emerge and rumors and everything else. And that's if you want that, that's what you do right there. That's the perfect recipe.
If you thrive in chaos and enjoy losing money, that's the way you should manage your business in 2025.
That's right.
We can write that roadmap right now.
That's right.
That is the easiest way to manage. Just do nothing.
That's right.
And you'll get there.
And the other thing, as you were talking to, that made me think about, because I was actually talking about this with my daughter the other day, which is in a different context, but the idea of change. Human beings are so scared of change, but many of us, our cells die and replicate about every 7 years. So if you think about it in that way, we are changing all the time. Our physical entity of this wasn't the body that I had 10 years ago, right? And we can look at change as, I don't sit here and go, oh, 10 years ago, this is a whole different body. I can go, this is a whole different body. What is the opportunity today? Again, it still goes back to mindset, and there's nothing I can do about my cells dying and replicating. It's the fact of life. It's how biology is run. And so change is inevitable. So instead of trying to fight change, welcome it. And when you welcome change, you welcome innovation.
Well, not just welcome change, but drive it. And not just welcome innovation, demand innovation from yourself and from your employees. There's a whole, and we definitely will spend more time on this, I hope, in the future, about how to build knowledge networks and how to build learning communities that you can take on board new information and then use that to innovate inside your business. So if you're not actively doing that and you're only relying on your internal knowledge, you end up in that rowboat again, right? Where you're only going in circles, and even worst case scenario, you're only going backwards. And that's not good for anybody. But you're right. If you do nothing and all you do is kind of hem-haw about the changes that are happening to you, and nobody likes things to happen to them, then you will lose that purpose, or that purpose then will become unattainable. And
you've given up.
Yeah,
you've in essence given up.
You will give up, or you'll shift your purpose because your original purpose was just too hard.
Well, let's give our listeners some homework
Okay.
to do between now and before we change our calendars. For those who still change our calendars, well, they still get changed digitally, whether we want them to or not. But there's something nice about the physical act, changing the calendar. I would say I'll say first homework assignment is write down your personal purpose statement. What is your personal purpose statement, and know it and feel comfortable with it. Know what your goal is, your purpose. Why are you here? What will fulfill you? What gives you joy? What is the thing that if you do this, the day you die, you'll be like, I did that. I did what I wanted to do during my lifetime. Write that down. Write it down in a journal. And it may take you some time. So when I say that, you're going to be like, wow, that sounds like you're oversimplifying it. It really, I'm not meaning to oversimplify it, but the first challenge to this is literally just putting pen to paper, or if you're more of a verbal processor, record yourself and listen to how at first you're going to write this down, and it may be really long. Then walk away from it for a day or two and come back to it, and let the words leap from the page, and before you know it, you'll have one concrete sentence.
Wow, that is huge. And then, if you manage to accomplish that in the next 2 weeks, which would be a challenge, I would say then start identifying those new things that you're going to have to do to hit that goal. Identify those things that you're currently doing that are going to support that purpose, and then what are the things that you should shed that don't support that purpose and don't bring you joy.
Well, I do have to say, to help you with homework assignment number 1, if you watch, which I do every year, my family, we watch it every year on Christmas Eve, It's a Wonderful Life. That is a real good inspiration motivator to write down your purpose statement.
Yeah.
Just remember, awesome. So he realizes the tasks are tasks, the purpose, like he still found his purpose was always there.
Yep. Absolutely.
So anyway, that's our homework assignment, folks. If you have any questions about what we talked about today, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Go to our website. There's probably 20 contact us, maybe more forms on there, so we're not difficult to find. But find us on MPWRPeople.org. Chris, any last words?
No, I hope everybody has a great holiday season, and we look forward to connecting with you again.
Well, thank you, Chris. And I'm going to wrap up the show with our outro saying thank you for tuning in to Evolve Together with Empower People here on ESPN Richmond, powered by MikeKingBiz. I'm your host, Tiffany Joy Greene, and it's been a pleasure sharing this time with you, Chris and his hoodie. We hope today's episode inspired you, provided valuable insights, and empowered you to take the next step in your purpose-driven journey. Don't forget to connect with Empower People on social media, share your thoughts, and join the Empower People community, where education, connection, and support is offered to mission and purpose-driven leaders to drive positive impact and empower people. So until next time, keep evolving, stay empowered, and remember that together we can achieve greatness. Have a fantastic day, and we'll see you on the next episode of Evolve Together with Empower People. Let's evolve together.